Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Reverend Bill, Rebecca, Steve. I'm trying to scroll down the screen again. We've got Andy and Becky joining us tonight. Andy can see you all, so you know what to do. When he's finished talking, you can ask your questions away. So we'll get a couple of minutes, Andy, before everybody starts popping in. Evening, Leslie. Hope you're well, my lovely. So yeah, any questions? Andy's gonna tell us how we got into the paranormal to start with. Evening, Smelly Cat and Lisa. He's gonna tell us how he got into paranormal to start with, and then how we got into working with the elemental side and all the goody things that come along with that. So if you have got any questions, pop them into chat when Andy says, when Andy tells you to, pop your questions into chat. Evening, Craig, Olivia, Sam, Gillian, Helen, Amy, Lady Dank, Mandy, Nikki. Evening. So just put your questions in when Andy gives you heads up. Otherwise, we just get questions all up on the screen when Andy's not ready, because I'm like trigger happy with him. Evening, Irene. Hope you're well. Right. So, Nina, hello.
I'd still get a minute.
Would you get a minute? I just like rushing me. You
know, you are a rusher. You are a rusher.
I am a rusher. I am. You know, like as soon as I go live, I'm like, right now we've got to tell them before we've only got one person on. Evening, Mags. Evening, Gina. Hope you're well this evening. I'm not sure whether I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he did mention on Wednesday, I think it was, that he got an attachment by an elemental. And if anybody can remember the gentleman's name, please pop it into chat, because if he comes on, we would like to try and help him. Evening, Diana. Hope you're well, my lovely lady. Are we all ready for tonight's chit chat? No jaffers.
No jaffers.
No jaffers.
You know.
I know.
I expected like coffee and jaffa cake. You're not a very good host, Lindsay.
I know. We're gonna have to make sure that jaffa cakes and tea and coffee's on stand ready.
I could spend a fortune on here.
What, on where? On their shop?
Yeah.
I know. This Andy's on your shop now.
They've got a pinewood wand. There's only one available, and it's in two people's baskets.
Is it really?
Oh, that's just all bits of rubbish that's left over. I'm about to list like loads.
Are you listing Andy, if anybody's interested, evening, Steve. If anybody's interested, John's going to be dropping links into chat. There's going to be Elemental Encounters, Facebook, YouTube, and
Etsy.
Etsy shop. I call it Ecstasy. Yeah, that shop. Ecstasy. I can't even say it. Go on. Ecstasy shop.
Etsy.
Oh wow.
Shop.
Sounds a bit rude.
Dear. Evening, Kelly. Evening, Willow.
I'm going to drop
well, Lisa.
in Messenger on.
Got some Werthers. Reverend Bill. Hope you're well. And greetings to guest.
I'm going to drop them on mod chat, and then mods can drop them in, can't they?
Yeah. So moderators, we're going to drop them in mod chat for you. Remember, share on Facebook and YouTube for us, my lovelies. It sounds sexy. I don't Etsy shop, isn't it? Not ecstasy shop. I don't know. I always that erotica comes into mind. Dear.
You was back in the 80s with drugs, you.
I know. I like them. Got fudge. Want to try? Right, my lovelies. We're about to hear Andy's journey within the paranormal. So please sit back, enjoy, and please share out if you can, my lovelies. Very much appreciate you sharing us out. There you go, Andy.
Not like putting him on spot.
Yeah, no, I do put him on stop. So, Andy, how did you get in to the paranormal?
Well, so wait, basically, I'm going to have to start from being really, really young. Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking pre-birth. My mother experienced a lot of activity around me.
Yeah.
So sort of like she was once laid up bed while she was pregnant with me, and this cigarette box lifted up, put side at bed, floated over to her and dropped onto her stomach.
Wow.
You know? So she was getting stuff like that, all sorts of weird stuff. Which, she was telling me stories and that. And then growing up, we must have had sort of, I think my last count, when I tried to remember them all, we lived in 11 houses over the course of 13 years because of activity and sort of me freaking out growing up. I can't live here. There's too much happening, and...
So it were all based then around you? Or do you think it was based around your mum and...
I think there could have been a little bit of both going on, but it seemed to be me that were getting brunt at stuff usually,
Yeah.
And obviously growing up, I didn't understand any on it. I just freaked out. Didn't like it, It was what it was.
Yeah.
But sort of in teenage years, when stuff like changes in your life and you find ecstasy, as you know.
Ecstasy this time.
Sort of stuff started dulling down some, So experiences were getting less, and I was quite happy with all that. I once made a pact with myself saying I'd be happy never to experience anything again.
Yeah.
And then sort of in my mid-20s, it started picking back up again. I used to work at, Woolly Edge service station.
Yeah.
I worked on north side nights there, and I only lasted 2 months because this activity, as soon as I stepped through the door, boosted that hadn't happened there in 12 years.
Wow.
Right? And it were all same kind of stuff that were happening. And as soon as I stepped foot in that place, it all amped up again.
Yeah.
And some old staff members were like recognizing what were happening, from back in there.
Yeah.
And obviously I will target there again, and whatever. And then sort of it relaxed again, We were just getting odd isolated stuff happening throughout years, and then sort of me and Becky got together, we took up a few hobbies and we started urban exploring, going into old buildings, photographing them.
Love them.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
you've got all that on your you've got your explorers, aren't you, on your page, on your YouTube?
Yeah, I've got an exploring page. Yeah.
Oh right, we have to get that one shared as well.
I'm a bit anonymous, you see.
Right,
so
get you.
I don't tend to tell people who I am.
That's no problem. Keep it that way, Andy. We'll find an exploring page. Yeah.
That's it. So sort of, we started off going to these places at night, as you do.
Yeah.
Because you think you're being like undercover, and when you don't know ins and outs on it, it's like you're going dark because they can't see you going in and stuff like that. And noticing stuff, them feelings, sort of things banging in front of you, and hearing little whispers in your nose, nobody around. You could be in a building in the middle of countryside, in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody in there.
Yeah.
There's not, but you're hearing somebody talking. And it's like, what's going on here? But we didn't act upon anything really. We just used to sort of take photographs if they were all weird and we put them online. That were as far as it went for us. Anyway, my cousin, Kyle from Soul Real Paranormal, quite a well-known team at time.
I think you still are.
Yeah. I mean, he hadn't done much for a while because
got lots of things cooking though, Ante. He's got his fingers in all pies. So working
on a few things. But he were after somebody to do some filming.
Yeah.
And he knew I knew a lot of places.
Yeah. And you're good with camera.
Yeah, that I could take him. So I offered him it. I took him up to Iroid's mental asylum to do a video. I offered to film, and he was like, "Wow, you're really good at filming," And I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool."
Yeah.
And I says, "I tell you what," I says, "We'll join team, but not as investigators." I says, "We'll join just to film."
Yeah.
And so I said to him, "Well, let me edit footage because I'm filming it. I'm basically editing it in my head as we're going, So I'll take that part if you want, and it leaves you to just front it all.
Yeah.
No, you concentrate on doing social media, fronting it.
You'll just work behind scenes.
I'll just be behind scenes. I'll edit. I'll film. Nobody has to know who I am. But sort of people kind of want to get to know you a little bit,
Yeah.
And people like sort of took to us, like me humour, because it is a bit.
Yeah, it
is a bit. And then sort of we had a bad spell. We went team, and sort of team brought down a little bit. And we'd started sort of picking up on something that were happening to us, and we just basically decided to form a zone and just see where it led.
Yeah.
And things we were getting told, I mean, in our it weren't elemental encounters at the start, it were called Phantoms Paranormal.
Right.
We were genuinely looking for
paranormal.
Anything that were odd.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Unexplainable. Is that a better word?
Yeah. Obviously, you sort of ghost hunting will always be forefront of it because it's the easiest sort of thing to do. A UFO hunter.
Yeah.
It's hard work. We don't really have the old Bigfoot culture over here. And,
no.
So it's like the ghost hunting is the go-to thing.
It is, yeah.
We were sort of getting stuff through with spirit boxes and EVPs, photographs of stuff that wasn't, your atypical human spirit.
Yeah.
All those photographs seem to be like little creatures and really odd shaped stuff. And I mean, even in Soul Reaper days, we're getting that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So I really used to be like, what is that?
And you couldn't,
odd little thing or that massive thing stood near that tree, But we hid it for a long time. I said to Becky, I says, we cannot put out there that we are getting stuff like gnomes and.
Do you think that's because of the stigma? Do you think that's the stigma, Andy, that made you like not come out?
Yeah, a little bit. Because obviously you automatically think of Disney.
Yeah, they do. People do think of Disney when you're talking about gnomes and fairies. Yeah.
Like you said, there's not a lot of other people, or they weren't at that time, doing what.
Not in now. UK, there wasn't. I think in America.
I suppose when you're saying we can't really say that, it's like, really, you know what I mean? And what are people going to think?
Exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But
guys,
it got that sort of prominent that we had to follow footsteps of it, and see where it led us. So I jumped. I took a leap of faith on it, jumped on it, and it really did transform for us. It brought us where we are today, and we lost some people, aren't we? That couldn't
accept.
Yeah. We gained a lot of new people, but that's when we sort of found the paganism. I knew nothing about witchcraft, druidism, paganism in general. I knew nothing when I started this, and obviously learning it, hearing what they say, cross-referencing.
Welcome, Tony. Yeah.
It all pulled to that area, And then when you like sort of segregate that the old fairy thing is not about Disney, it's about old time.
Yeah, you're talking going back to folklore, back to Mother Earth, aren't you? Back to time at paganism, and it probably even before I don't know if they were before paganism, but
I think it was relatively first organized belief system.
Right.
Yeah. But it kind of just all dropped into place,
Yeah.
And that's relatively my journey. And reflecting back on a lot of my experiences growing up, I'm pointing the finger to these little buggers.
Hey dear. What's Irene put? We have here. We have that here. People don't want to talk about spirits and ghosts. There is a lot of it here, and it's the least talked about subject or light subject. Yeah, but to me, I mean, for when Andy works with element, we've worked with Andy, haven't we, Andy?
Yeah.
We worked with you. And what we did is we tried something out that worked for us and Andy, because Andy does the elemental. Whether it's it's not. Is it paranormal, Andy? Is that a right word to call the elemental side?
I don't. Some people say it is, but I don't think it is.
Right.
I think it should be classed as normal because it used to be.
Yeah.
Modern day, it does touch the realm of paranormal a little bit.
Tiny bit, because of how it's gone over years.
My thought process has gone back to traditionality.
Yeah.
For me, it's classed as normality. It's really odd.
Well, I mean, with paranormal, it's a different community, really, as well, isn't it? From paranormal community.
Yeah,
completely different. Yeah. But yeah, when we worked alongside Andy and Becky, me and John went off and did what we do. Andy and Becky went and did what we do best. Andy and Becky went off and did what they do. And then we stopped recording and we went and joined Andy and Becky for a bit. And we respected what Andy and Becky was doing at that time. And we're learning from Andy and Becky on how to communicate with elementals, because there's been times we've been out and some of you lot in chat have picked up these strange creatures.
I mean, some of you guys might have seen it before. I were out on my own one night and I were in the woods. And Andy actually came on to chat, and Andy was saying, "Have you got any copper on you? Leave some copper." You know what I mean? And things like that.
Yeah, I remember
and,
that.
We did.
This is how we started getting into looking.
So we sort of do a mixture, because I think it's a very interesting. I think the history to it and the truth behind it is very interesting. I find that all so interesting, because this is like you said, this is tradition. This goes back into, like Tony's put, old world. Yeah. But yeah, people are having a global awakening at the moment, becoming more open to the older wisdom and spirituality. Yeah. Do you feel that as well, Andy?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll always still be an element of modernization to it all.
Yeah.
And I think until we, and this is going to be impossible.
Yeah.
But until we can strip away as technology in its entirety, we're never going to have a true awakening.
No.
But the thing that bothers me about it more than anything is with what's happened in the world this year so far. Everybody's saying about Mother Nature and the world's healing itself and all this, and everyone, and it's become like a buzzword, a buzz thing for people saying, "Oh, we're going to go back to a spirituality. We've got to get more in touch with it."
But then they're not.
But they're not. They're not actually doing it for the right reasons. Do you know what I mean, Andy? It's like it's become that thing, and they're not really. It's not really, because they're still quite happy sat at home with their iPhones all day.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to go for a walk in woods and see trees or do whatever, but they want to get in touch with nature. But it's like looking at pictures on their iPhones, not actually going out and having a walk in woods.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exploring with Villain. Hello. I think people.
I'll be Dr. Villain.
I think people are scared of the unknown and don't want to see the unknown. If they can't see it, it's not real. But I experienced it and it's real. Exactly, Irene. Exactly. So Andy, what else do you do then? Because obviously you are a pagan, aren't you, Andy?
Yes.
Yes. Right. So I always get this wrong. Just because you're pagan doesn't mean you're Wiccan. Is that right?
No, Wiccan's a new religion.
Yeah, it's more modern.
I always get that.
You don't have to be a witch to be pagan, but to be Wiccan, you have to be a witch. I think it is one or the.
Go on, Andy.
Right.
This one's on you.
Yeah. So basically, what you've got is you've got a traditional witch, right?
Yeah.
Which is what I'm more in the realms of, mixed with druidry.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, druids are a long time.
They are a long. Yeah.
So some people, round about 40s, 50s,
Tony.
sort of made up a version of traditional witchcraft combined with other elements of religion.
Yeah.
And their own theories and stuff, and then they made Wicca, which is, that religion factor of it. But such as me, I follow more a traditional path where I'm not locked to any sort of religion or rules, if you will.
Yeah.
More free flowing because Wicca's quite ruly.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you go out to him, do you do like a ceremony first to like welcome to welcome the elements to come forward and talk to you? Do you how do you find they best communicate with you and Bex, if that makes sense to you?
I do tend to try and do a little something pre-start, you know, wherever we go.
Yeah.
Usually based on 4 elements. Because I always promote a lot of people call all these generally elementals, but I'm a promoter of you've got 4 elementals, but
right.
The rest are nature spirits. They are
right. So go on then. Your 4 elementals would be. So
you've got your water, which are undines.
Yeah. Would water come into like mermaids?
Well, they would be different. They would be a water nature spirit.
Right, get you.
Yeah. An undine is like, it's similar, but whereas people say you can communicate with a mermaid, you can't verbally communicate with an undine because it's a whole different level of frequency. And then you've got like an air sylph, which is obviously air. You've got a salamander, which is fire. And then this is the only odd one out in the whole realm of it. The earth elemental are gnomes, which have got a foot in each elemental and nature spirit side. And they're the ones that can truly communicate with you properly are elementals. Right.
So if you were communicating with elementals, then it's more likely a gnome that you're going to be communicating with rather than get you.
So the rest are like just generally the fae folk are generally nature spirit.
Yeah. But are all fae folk, are all nature spirits fae folk, or is fae folk just part of nature spirits?
It's weird because like depending on your spelling of it, like the fae as in FAE, is sort of umbrella term.
Yeah.
You know, for like such as your elves, leprechauns, everything. You know what I mean? Apart from the 3 elementals, which was the undine.
Yeah.
John will explain that to me when we come off.
It's not as hard as it is.
You're nodding.
If she read that book she bought that you told her to buy, she'd be all right.
I haven't read it yet.
She'd understand.
I've been because I was looking through the book, and I'm thinking, again, the wrong mindset.
She's on Disney.
Everything. No, I went on Disney. I knew they weren't going to be. I knew they weren't going to be. But every time I was reading, it's like, oh, that's not very nice. Then you look at that, oh, that one's not very nice. But I suppose the not very nicety comes from the way they were treated.
Yes.
That's where it is, isn't it?
People treat you bad, you're not very nice to them.
Well, no. But but that's how they told, isn't it, of how that book really is telling you how they got to be that way, because they wasn't all that way prior. Obviously, there would have been some naughty ones, I think, but
they're all a little bit naughty. I've got to admit, but it's your
mischievous. They're mischievous.
Exactly. You know, if one were to come to you and whack you at leg with a nettle and bring you out on, you could see it as you little shitbag. You know, that were awful. That were an attack, but I'd just stand there and laugh and go, "You little bugger."
Yeah, because it'd be more. Yeah, because it's more of a mischievous act. So I've got one thing to ask though.
We'll go find the book.
He's going to go find my book now.
Just before this though, let me just say that you've also got another offshoot,
right?
Which are house tutelary spirit.
Utility spirit. So I'm saying that out loud for John to hear.
Right. So that comes under your realm of house brownies.
Yeah.
Hobgoblins and stuff like that. Where they're more homely.
Yes.
Rather than nature.
And they like a clean home, don't they? Sometimes. Well, not in my messy corner, they don't.
It's more clean energy than actual physical cleanness.
Yeah, it's the energy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is the book Andy advised me to get and read.
That's the one.
This is the one. I know it's so thick.
It is.
But it is. And I'll tell you something.
The Illustrated Encyclopedia of Fairies, Anne Franklin, illustrated by Paul Mason and Helen Field.
And it is a really interesting book. I've got to admit that.
List them all.
But if you're like me, you just pick it up and you turn to a page and it says, Boken is an unpleasant fairy who lives on the Isle of Skye and attacks unwary travellers, sometimes leaving them horribly mutilated. And I'm like, really? I thought these were supposed to be nice energies, nice things to get in touch with. And then, but then you read further on and you do get some that, like you said, are probably more mischievous than harmful.
Yeah. What I've got to say though, right? Don't take it for gospel. Anything ever says about them.
No, because
exactly.
100% no.
No, they are like you say. Yeah.
History's been tainted a hell of a lot.
It has.
And when people sort of ask me about certain ones, I'll be like, I can't say if I believe they exist.
Even Ben,
I ain't met one. It's never said, "Oh, I'm this." I've never had a chance to research it, talk to it, see its behaviours, and until I do, I can only tell you ones that I have met that I can say I believe in. So there is that as well.
So I know
I find it all fascinating. I love it, because if you guys haven't, obviously go across to Andy's channel, YouTube channel, and subscribe. But you did 30 East Drive, didn't you, Andy?
I did.
Yes. Andy's got a different perspective on what he thinks is there.
Yes, I have.
Do you mind? Would you mind telling us, or
no? I can tell you.
Don't tell them too much. Leave them hanging so they can go across and watch video.
Yeah, no worries. So, for me, with East Drive, basically, it started from watching a movie about it.
Yeah.
And I got suspicions, and I was like, the stuff that's happening in this film, if it happened in real life, then it's questionable kind of stuff that we deal with.
Yeah.
Sort of the flowers being left on the bed, and the smell of flowers, and this thing coming as a dark shadow, and it played with children there, but were a bit thingy with adults when they were getting nasty about activity, and I thought, sounds like fairy activity this to me, and then I got opportunity to go, and first thing I got in Diane's bedroom were a massive blast of flower smelling face.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
And what sign is that from? What would give off that kind of that flowers?
A fairy. Yeah. The classic little flying, biting fairy.
Yeah. the one that'll bite your face off. Yeah. The nice one. Yeah.
Yeah. But sort of, we weren't getting all that much more because there were other people there. There were actually a paranormal investigation for guests going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But I were interested in this black shadow, the one that they call
what's known as the monk.
Yeah, what's known as the monk, although it never got stated it were a monk, I've got to admit that.
Yes.
And I were interested in this because some of the stuff, a lot of activity started in kitchen.
Yeah.
When it first ever started at this place. And I was like, all right, kitchen's a big sign. Shows us a black shadow. It were friendly towards children, but not towards the adults that were trying to set children were losing the marbles.
Wow.
Right, I'm getting it. So I'm drawing a picture here. Okay, so there's a specific room in that place, and it's next to coal shed where Pritchard himself got locked in there and shadow manifested behind him, apparently.
Yeah.
Right. What you don't necessarily know is there's an outhouse next to it, like a little conservatory.
Yeah.
And in there is where all photographs are placed on a massive pin border what people have caught in East Drive over years.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'd sort of got my static camera set up looking into the coal shed. And I went and sat down at the bottom of the stairs, just on my own, and I'm like, I got a really odd feeling from that room, So I went over and I put Rem Bear up, because there's a little table in there. I put Rem Bear on the table, stepped back, and it started going off, and I'm like, hello,
Yeah.
who are you then? Anyway, we're like waiting, and then I was like, are you willing to talk to me? And then Rem Bear would go off and wait, and I was like, oh, this is really good,
Yeah.
And I did a lot of questioning, and we did a spirit box, and there was some, I'm not going to say what it said it was.
Yeah. They come through with
very, very good answers. And it basically owned up to being the Black Shadow,
Wow. Yeah.
And it was being accompanied by a fairy. This is what we got.
Yeah.
And then it's come to my attention that every single place that we've investigated, home style houses, so the tutelary spirit, always nearly are accompanied by a fairy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it matches up. And then there's a video that's no longer on channel, unfortunately, because there was some elements of fakery going on that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
So I had to remove it. The spirit box I did in that property, I was talking to a similar sort of entity of what I believe is at East Drive. And when I asked about its kind and that I'd met a few others before, on this spirit box, it named East Drive.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, so you network, do you?
So they do communicate. That shows communication then, doesn't it, as well, between them? That they've got that communication going. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So people then, what the paranormal we do, we're ghost hunters, because I think there's 3 different types, and I don't know if you'll agree, but I think there's 3 different types of ghost hunters. You've got ghost hunters, you've then got paranormal investigators, which I would class Sam as an investigator.
Yeah.
Then you've got your what you class as entertainment. For ghost hunters, we go out to a location.
We do a live ghost hunt.
If any evidence gets caught, we have a quick look back. We clip it and leave it for everybody else to see. We don't class ourselves as
paranormal investigators as such, only because a paranormal investigator will do months of research before they go. Yeah. They'll go and sit at a place night after night for hours and hours, getting 100 hours worth of footage, and then cutting all that down and re-going. You know what I mean? We don't do that. So
you're an investigator because you do all that. But obviously you're investigating the elementals, the fae, you're doing that. But I don't mean to call them. That's quite, because I know that they're there because I've seen one.
So you upset any that's in our house?
I know. But so when we say, oh, we've got a poltergeist in house, and we come to you one day and we're saying, right, this is happening. Might not even be a poltergeist. It could be. Is that, have I got this right? Is that could be a house brownie moving stuff about, or something that we've upset within the elemental world? Do you know?
Very possibly could be, but I'm just going to give you a little snippet of interesting history folklore here. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. So we know poltergeist is a German word.
We do, yeah.
Or noisy spirit, yeah. But did you know prior to the church taking over, it was actually known as a polter sprite?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Really?
Which is a noisy fairy that likes to go poltering. Yeah, and that's
now that is it. Do you know that is interesting?
Yeah.
Now that changes a lot of things, especially in my mind way of thinking. Because again, and I mean this, I know you're like us, Andy, and you'll respect everybody's beliefs, religions, and everything else.
Yeah.
So this isn't be disrespecting to anything. We all have his beliefs, and we respect everybody's beliefs. But I do believe that, again, the Bible. I don't know how to put it without sounding.
I don't know.
I know you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say, but you know my words might come out wrong. So please don't anybody take offence.
If it's what I think it is, I might be able to put a nicer spin on it.
Go on then, Andy, because I know what I'm trying to say, but I don't want to cause any offence by saying it.
Right. So what I've always said, I'll do it from my point of view, because me being a pagan, I'm allowed to say what I think. Yeah. So these creatures got demonized.
Yes.
Right. But not only did they get demonized, they got the opposite treatment as well. So the essence of angels got took from them, and what we know, what a Christian would know as angels, we know as the shining ones or the bright ones, which is what a nature spirit would evolve into.
Get you
right? So they not only did they take the bad elements to create the demon,
they
took the good elements from them and created angels.
Yeah,
that's what I have come to believe. But just quickly look up Poltersprite. It's in your green book. It should be in your green book.
John's took my book off me.
I have took it. You passed it, man.
He done. He took it off me, Andy. Did you see him? Before
it might be under Poltergeist initially, but it might be. I can't remember. But I think it is in there.
Should be, shouldn't it? Or it'll be in part of it.
Go on, carry on.
Carry on. Look at me. I'm watching him trying to find it. Mags has put the Bible can be interpreted in many ways. It can. Dr. Swarte. Do my husband Vinny having extra? We're not doing tarot tonight, my lovely. We're having a chit chat. If you want, when I'm doing tarot night, it'll say tarot on it, sweetie. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that.
Poltergeists aren't in here. It is just Poltersprites.
Right. So go on then.
Poltersprites are German shape-shifting house fairies who delight in going poltering, i.e., making a dreadful noise about the house. Though today people tend to think of poltergeists, knocking spirits, as ghosts, they are probably synonymous with these noisy fairies who have cousins all around the world, like the knocker, kobold, etc. They scamper over the ceiling while you are trying to sleep, rattle the pots and pans while you are eating your dinner, bang the wainscoting, whatever that is, make the doors creak and throw stones at the roof while you are sitting quietly.
That's it. We're going to read to that bit. Yeah.
They may appear.
We'll read that bit. We'll not read.
They may appear as squirrels, cats, or little old men dressed in grey or green, or become invisible by putting on their tarnkappen or red caps.
Wow. So, if you'd got one of these, then Andy, how could you stop the activity? What kind of things would you need to put in place in your home? Right.
So, initially, obviously, if somebody comes to me and goes, "Oh, I've got some activity in my house," I'm wanting to go and have a look at it, because I'm wanting to collate as much evidence as possible that it'll be one of these sort of things. And initially, I've got a really strategic questionnaire for people beforehand.
Before they go,
So where are you noticing your activity? Because if there's any stuff around kitchen, it's where food is. Usually dark corners of cupboards, scratching noises, all that sort of classic poltergeist stuff. I always ask about sort of if people are susceptible to picking up on stuff, because what you'll find is somebody moves into a new house. It's usually one at common occurrences. A couple of weeks later to a couple of months, stuff starts happening. So that person might be susceptible to picking up on it. It might. Usually they'll start playing up when they know a person can pick up on there's something there. So it's starting to ask for stuff.
Yeah.
And the most common clues will be in activity, what it is. So, like I say, if there's activity in kitchen, food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People tend, one of the most common things, my house keys are going missing. That's a sign that it don't like you. It wants you to leave. Yeah.
Ooh. So how could you make things right, or can't you? Is that just something?
You can. Right. So you can acknowledge that there's something there. It's not to be scared of. Same line of thought if you're dealing with a human spirit ghost in general ghost hunting. Don't be scared of it. You know what I mean? So what it's wanting is respect. If it's a tutelary spirit, it's wanting respect and food.
Yeah.
You have to respect that it was there before you, and that it's fine to live there alongside you. Now, if you give it them two things, it'll usually neutralize. Things will get quieter.
Yeah.
But if it's I've worked with a lady for a few years where that particular one in their house wants to cause them serious damage.
Yes.
And it takes the tenancy agreements, and it'll take their house keys for months on end.
Yeah.
You know. Now, there is something you can do, which is leave a cap full, like a bottle cap full of honey, out every month, and it neutralizes the spirit's mood, and it'll reset it back to normal. And then obviously you start your respect and your general food offering, and that it works.
So, and that's basically it, though, isn't it? That is
basically it.
It's all about respecting.
But then and on the opposite side at foot, you've got to understand what it's going to do for you.
Yeah.
So it might be terrifying you while it's asking for stuff, but once it's neutralized or become more friendly, then it's going to work on energy in your home. So it tries to make the energy in the home pleasant,
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll find that if you've got any kids, their moods will be a lot nicer, or your own sort of moods, and just a general feeling in houses becomes more pleasant.
Just more like an uplifting beat rather than that stressful energy that's normally around when things are happening. Yeah.
And if it is one of them, and anybody fetches a priest in to try and baptize it, all it's going to do is anger it, because that's seen as a great offense.
Them, do they? Yeah.
No, it's seen as a great offense what they're doing. So
Christians or whatever religion that they used to obviously demonize them, aren't they? So they're not really happy to see them.
Yeah,
it's a great offense. So obviously, that can be built upon with others who believe in demonic stuff. Performing this has made it more angry, because it's a demon. You can see how it can not open.
And you can see how it's working. Tony's just put, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. No, I don't think well, I'll let Andy answer, but I'd say no.
No, definitely not. I love having. I've got a what we call an house brownie here, and we don't. To say what we do, we don't really interact with him, because people that live with their house brownie, once the mutual respect and the food is sort of nailed on, you don't interact with each other anymore. All the time I'll hear anything out of him is if I forgot to put anything out and I'm overdue. It'll remind me.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Right. And that's how it works. So Steve's put, so are fleeting shadows in the word can't say peripheral likely
to be someone's mind, say
playing tricks, or are they likely to have elemental visitors?
Well, peripheral vision is one of the biggest factors for seeing there, because scientific.
Right. You see him.
We have got we've got two different developments in his eyes. We've got what are called rods and cones, right? And it's I think it's the cones on outer, and it's them that pick up on phase movement, and that's usually a peripheral. Yeah. So there is science behind it.
Right. It's Sam. I'm not calling you Lavina. I'm going to call you Sam. Sam, my daughter said little people live in the corner behind the telly too. Now, can kids see? They can see.
Is it similar to what we say? We human spirits that children innocent are more open to it.
Exactly.
Is that the same with faith?
Exactly.
Because they're innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because the mind's not being poisoned. I don't want to say poisoned. The mind's not being
that's an interesting one.
Poisoned or brought to believe a certain thing, have they, at an age?
Yeah.
Tony's put can.
Or are they be
can they be guides of sorts?
They can, yes.
Do you know that? So if you've got like a spirit guide, see, when I meditated and I did my meditation, spirit guide I can't get. Spirit animal, I get a phoenix and a dragon.
Yeah.
And the phoenix morphs into the dragon.
I married a dragon.
And to me, that would be, to me, I don't understand them. Do you know what I mean? I know they're good together, but I don't necessarily understand that animal just yet. But when I try spirit guides, I don't seem to get anything with a spirit guide as such, if you know what I mean, Andy.
Right.
So could my guides then be
Fair.
from Faye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a few different classifications going on here. There's some that travel through family generations.
Right.
You'll find that a lot of Irish.
We've got Irish descendants.
Leprechauns travel through families. You know,
Yeah.
they do. I've had this sort of. I've investigated it. You know.
Yeah.
Somebody who was alive to now passed away that had leprechauns around him.
Yeah.
You know. Also, you've got ones that take an interest in something that you've done.
Right.
So there's like a little bit of a checklist, especially with people in paranormal.
Yeah.
Right. So if you and John were going out and you were doing certain things, I can't tell you what they are because certain.
Yes, I know you've got to do it. Yeah.
All different manner of things can like tally up for a certain specific one, you know.
Yeah.
And if you so many checklists, it's going to come home with you. You'll never know.
Yeah.
Unless it makes it send known and watch you, you know.
Yeah.
See if then it wants to guide you in this. And that happened with a particular one that we used to work with. He's no longer around, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he did a lot of learning for us. We learned a lot from him.
Wow.
Maybe you learned all you could from him and that's why he's not there anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's midway for the next one to come and help guide. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
We found out, can you remember the massive opaque sphere from Church Fenton?
Yeah. I mean, that, if anybody hadn't seen that, oh my goodness me, I have never seen a sphere. Is that what you called it? I called it this big, massive round thing.
It's like a big orb, isn't it?
It was huge. Yeah. And this were in the daytime. This weren't nighttime. So there were no torches being used. There were light coming in, but nothing could have made what got caught in that moment. And it were unbelievable, weren't it, Andy? Really?
Yeah. Well, we did a little house investigate. It's an old burnt-out house. It's not far from us.
Yeah.
And me and Becky, while on a walk, decided to go in and have a look, see if they were still hanging about. And this big orby sphere thing showed up another 6 times in that video.
Wow.
Right. So I was like, somebody's took an interest, obviously. And it's not to do with me. I've had my orders. It's all to do with Becky. It's Becky's new friend, so I have to stay at it, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's been speaking to this thing, and she's going to do some development with it, you know. And I've been told to stay clear. Can you believe that?
Get out! Oh wow! Oh, I bet that's right. Good for Becky, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I bet Becky. Oh, wow. That I you know, I'm just thinking of that. Oh, I can picture them 2 double doors and the wall at the side, I think it was, and it sort of like come over the wall onto the door. It just glided up, and it like stayed, and then it just like slowly, and it were like you just can't. There's only one other time I've seen one that big, and I've already said to you, Andy, where I saw you.
Yeah.
When I saw that one coming into the side on you, it come like down past telly and behind chair where you were sitting. But to be there when it's captured is
I think one of my noticeable things from that day as well. Can you remember when we all heard that little shuffle on that bell?
Yes.
Yeah. And we all kind of looked at the same direction between me and Helen.
It was that noise definitely come between you and Helen. And what made it even better, Andy, was the fact that there was cameras. We were all on camera, and we got a camera pointing at us, because I can remember afterwards you actually went through footage, and I think you sent us footage before it actually went up, and it showed you nobody were moving, nobody's feet were moving, nobody shuffled, but that noise between you, and then you heard like a tinkle of a bell, and it was it were unbelievable. You know, you forget about things. It's not that you forget about these things, but you know, when you like, we're doing one after another.
That's it. Yeah.
Because you're doing them that quick, you sort of like forget until it gets mentioned, and then it's like, oh my God, wow, I remember that. You know, really, really good. That's
and there's me,
quite some stuff.
And then there were me that day going, it's really quiet. There's not much happening. There's no tea. And I got the spirit box couple, not get no. It could have been one of the best spirit boxes I ever did, because a lot were happening. You know,
everything was going off that day. I know.
Doesn't it just prove though that without cameras, things that you'd miss?
Yeah,
you know?
Without having them cameras up and being on camera and doing stuff, it would get missed. I mean, it's just unbelievable what happened that day, actually, because we were all saying how quiet it felt. You know, we were walking around and going in buildings and everything, and we were all like, well, it does seem a bit quiet.
I liked today we're finding that chupacabra.
Yeah, chupacabra. I like that day.
I've still got him.
Oh, dear. Have you spoken to John and Lindsay about investigating your house? Oh, I think she's talking to somebody in chat.
Leah.
She's talking to Leah. But if Leah's going to have to let us know in chat what experiences she's having, because it might be as well, Andy. You and Beck coming with us.
Cool.
Do you know? Again, because I mean, like I said, we've got so much respect for you and Becky and everything that you do. You know that we'd never go against it. We'd not stand arguing and say, no, it's not. You know what I mean? Because
we could have a team showdown, couldn't we?
Is it a poltergeist or a polter sprite?
Polter sprite and win, even for me now with that information. But yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. It's just such an interesting thing. And again, not a lot of people see this side either, you know. But they've got to remember, this is all part of our history.
Yeah.
You know, this is part of English history when you go back.
Well, world's history.
You know? Yeah.
Well,
it's not just England, is it? It's world history, because everywhere in the world were pagan, weren't they? Were they all pagans?
Kind of.
Varying
degrees of,
Yeah.
I mean, Ireland is probably biggest place for Fae, isn't it? Where they, I mean, they believe now. They still believe.
Why do the Irish fear the Fae like they do?
I've always said this, and I think somewhere on lines they were very, very naughty to Fae.
Right.
So they bit back, and now it's sort of carried on as a massive fear.
Yeah, because they do. When I spoke to friends and that, they have got that
Oh, Samantha.
Yeah, they've got that fear of the elementals, and I wonder whether it is like you said, whether they did treat them really, really badly, or whether it was because maybe because the strong religion that pushed them out are now changed people and everything. And again, it was that disrespectful that it formed itself. Do you know? Because it's right. Because there's a lot of people, I think, that fear the elemental side. I think there's a lot of people that fear the spirit side that we do. But again, we believe, like you, Andy, you can't fear them in that sense. You've got to respect them. That's the only word I can think.
Yeah.
You've got to show respect. See, when we've entered, John went out a couple of weeks back, and he went on his own to this abbey. It's not far from us. And when he was there, the first time he went, he got a creepy feeling, and it did creep your out, didn't it? He didn't show it on camera, and he did say, even Paul, he did say that he did have a creepy vibe, but he just acted like normal, like he does, just odds on.
I was turning around a lot more because I kept
but he got this really not negative vibe, but it was an uncomfortable one. Now that was in the Abbey grounds, but in the cemetery part, weren't it? And then when he went walking up into the wooded area at the side, it felt like it were following you, didn't it? And he couldn't wait to finish that investigation. Now, if we spoke to some people, they'd say it's demonic or it's an evil entity following you. That's not necessarily right, is it? Because if we looked at it from where you're coming from, that could have been just some of the elementals warning him that he wasn't welcome in that. They don't know him, or because he'd not
they just come out because I felt like I'm being watched. It might not have been an egg. It might have just been inquisitive. What the hell's he doing here now? Doing this?
Yeah, but it was that
flashing lights and beats.
You'll have to come to that one with us, Andy, or with John, because it's not one I can't get to it. It's too hard for me to. I can't get Big Red round it, and it's too difficult for me to get. But you'll have to come and go and have a look at that one with John, and also where Stone is.
Yeah, that one I think you'll find.
That one, that one Stone, I think you'll find.
You told me to put them coins down, but there's in this
Neolithical stone, is it?
And then there's a Neolithic stone with all this is it Cuppen?
I'll answer Joel in a minute.
I forgot what it's called now. Cuppen Summer Art. It's a Neolithic stone. It's got all these stuff carved into this stone.
Yeah, there's actually three of them. There's three of these stones.
Ring, I think it's called.
Two have been lost. So they say. We found one. The other one is in part of the river, but we don't know which part of the river it's in. And it's just sort of half under a bridge and half not. So you can't really see it unless you know which bridge you're going to. But nobody has maps for these, Do you know what I mean? Well, if you find them, they're a lucky find to find. But yeah,
I mean, for me, it could have been. I mean, it could have been anything this stone was used for, but because it worked obviously before Christian times, it could have been where they went to.
There's a lot of energy around that stone.
Where they went to pay the respects to Fae or to elements, whatever. You know what I mean?
But the energy around that stone is a really strong energy. Even when you're talking to people in chat. The energy that people can feel it through chat, if you know what I mean. And these are people that have got, I call them gifts or whatever. Do you know, to me, it's a gift. But some people have got these gifts and they can feel, and the energy, they put in the energy they feel before he's even spoken to say what John's feeling. And theirs is exactly the same as what John's about to say. Do you know what I mean? It's like they say it at the same time. But because of that Facebook delay, it comes out just after each other or whatever. But that is an interesting place, that one. I've managed to get down to that stone once. I found it peaceful, but when you get near to it,
It was so light when you went there.
It what?
It was so light when you
went there. But you could feel that it is an energy circle around that's not direct round the stone, but like set stones there, Andy.
Yeah.
It was like field went round it. So as soon as you crossed over from this bit of green onto clearing, you felt that energy shift straight away.
Right.
And I had to come away. I had to come away, and we went in daylight. And I was like saying to John, I'll just take a couple of photos and then can we go? Feel, even in daytime, you feel like all eyes are on you, don't you? I felt like all eyes were on me.
Whereabouts are you, Julie? Pitch black here and loud thunder.
Julie, I hope you're not near us. But yeah, Joel, I know you've got 2 spirits in your house, lovely. But I know your mum can deal with them, sweetie. So you'll be okay, Joel. But yeah, I just think has anybody else got any questions they'd like to ask while Andy's talking away? Evening, John.
You mean while you're talking away?
While I'm going to shut up. Come on, Andy, let's hear some more. I mean,
Julie's in Manchester.
She's not far from us then.
Not too far.
No, she's sending it our way. So Andy, what else? I mean, I know you make your wands. I know you do your boxes. I know you do Rem bears.
Yeah, I do.
What else do you create to do with your Etsy channel?
Well, we do a bit of all sorts. I mean, because we are practicing witches.
Yeah.
We sort of look for everything that we can use as craft work.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, witchcraft, it's in the name, craft.
Yeah.
So we like to craft all our own sort of things, and for spell work, ritual work. We one of those biggest things we like doing at the minute is to go out finding bones. Animal.
That's amazing. That's
animal bones.
Yeah. Did you ever find owners to the one? I don't know whether you want to say
the dog.
Yeah.
No.
I watched that video when we got home that day, and that was amazing. That video.
Yeah. It's really strange finding something like that.
Yeah.
But now, so we make stuff out of bones, bone art and stuff like that for people.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people.
So, do you take wood from trees? Do you see what's on the floor? Would you break the branch?
No. All trees are sacred to us, so we would never break one. We usually look for discarded wood.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we understand that some trees have got to be, pruned and cut. Like a lot of fruit trees have got to be cut.
Yeah.
But we've got a good deal with like certain game keepers and gardeners that when they're trimming their bushes, we can go and investigate their trimmings and take what we need, So.
Oh dear!
I sound like a gynecologist now, don't I? Oh dear. So yeah. Rule of thumb: we never cut a tree.
Yeah.
But if we try and bond with a tree, we'll cut a tree because it's harnessing the tree's living energy rather than its dead. Yeah.
But then you will leave an offering or whatever for that tree.
Yeah, always leave an offering.
So I'm doing in my garden. I'm some flowers, I think, are the right flowers to be planted. Yeah, them that I bought for them little pots.
That's the only thing in our garden is weeds.
No, I've bought I want to do like a little section of our garden just under window here, and I forgot what seeds they were, flower seeds they were now, but it's like a thank you kind of thing for if they want to visit our garden. I know this good for bees and that, to take the pollen and stuff.
We're also doing that. We're doing some spirit box sessions in shed. And we thought we were getting in touch with elementals or fae or whatever, and they were asking for things like flowers. They wanted flowers and things like that, planting.
Yeah, so we said we'd plant some.
Yeah, it's quite typical.
But do you know, Andy, it's right funny because when we go into work into the shed, and we don't know whether, I think it was Cliff that once said it could be the wood that the sheds come from, because when we work in the shed, it was more elemental words that were coming out. Like when we were asking questions or asking if they got any messages, it were like they wanted flowers planting, they wanted things being left in shed. It were like we were communicating then with the elements, but yet when we'd go outside, it's more difficult to communicate.
Well, Tony, if you broke your wand and you're looking for a new wand, if you go over to Etsy and go over to Elemental Encounters, they've got some lovely ones on there, and they'll be putting some more up, I think.
Yeah, and he's got some more new stuff going up, Tony, so you want to keep an eye out for them. So, right, he put long hours into that one. Oh, bless. But yeah, it's Jayne's put, I'm having my Buddleia trees cut down. Do I need to leave anything for them? So Jayne's having trees cut down. I'll put that up on screen and then you can answer that for us.
You see, I personally would. I mean, Buddleia is one of the highly active fairy trees anyway. You know, a lot of fairy sort of witches do have a Buddleia wand because it's very playful. It's very good energy. It's a bit like a rose bush. It's very, very flowery tree, and it's quite a playful wood. So it's good to make wands from. So yeah, I would recommend just even if it's just a bit of birdseed, in its place.
Just putting some birdseed down.
Yeah. Just something nice and natural.
Could you? I mean, obviously, I don't know whether Jayne can, but if Jayne does get some branches and puts them to one side.
Well, I've got loads of Buddleia at the minute.
Have you got loads? Right. I was going to say, Jayne, we could have got rid of some. But yeah, Jayne, just put some birdseed down.
And this front room looks like a forest as it is at the minute.
It does. Just how I like it.
I hope that's helped you, Jayne, and I hope you take Andy's advice because by leaving birdseed or something, it's like you're giving back, aren't you?
Yeah, you're bringing. You can even do that if you're just starting about. Just pick a tree out if you like it. Chuck some birdseed at base. It invites birds back to the tree, doesn't it? And that's what trees appreciate.
Well, I'm gonna carry birdseed everywhere I go now. I'm gonna have food for birds everywhere I go. I'll be that bird woman who feeds pigeons.
like off Home Alone 2.
Yeah. They stood there going in all. That'll be me walking round streets.
Brilliant.
But yeah, these bones that you're collecting. I mean. John found one the chupacabra. It weren't a chupacabra, people, but it were. It did. It looked massive, didn't it? I mean, that were like full skeleton. But yeah, so with bones then, Andy, what kind of things?
I'm changing subject, but we went back to that place that we went, Andy, and where we went in. There were a building just inside, and we went in there, and you'll see owl pellets that were in there. Oh man!
What's some more?
That first, as you go through the fence, you walk through, and there's that building on your left, just at the other side of Courts.
Yeah.
We went in there, and there were hundreds of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know where Andy wants to go back to, don't you?
Andy might be going.
Well, you'll have to let us know if you need a lifter out.
All right, cool.
If cars thinking and we could always gear lift up. It's not a problem.
I'm positive one of my wheels is going to drop off.
Yeah. So don't drive your car. If you want to lift up, you have to let us know and take your foot run.
Yep.
All right, cool.
So but these
Go on, you go back
owl
to the
pellets and bones and stuff, Andrew. What do you? Is there like a?
Well, he crafts them. The bones go back into crafting.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, obviously, I'm using some bones on ones because, you know, you can't like put bird skulls on ones. You know,
they look amazing. Yeah.
But wind chimes, bone wind chimes, stuff like that, you know, because they make a really nice noise when they're clattering together.
Yeah.
We use them in obviously spell work as well because bones are representative of Earth. So, you know, you can even like do bone runes and stuff. And some people, you know, like some people throw bones for divination.
Yeah.
You know, they'll inscribe them with stuff and throw bones out, and it's a way of divination. So, yeah, all sorts can be done with them.
That's right. Interesting. Steve's popped you a question on.
Our property is surrounded by mature trees and we're always throwing food out on our lawn for our chickens. Would that encourage elemental energies or would they be wary of the chickens?
Ooh.
Nah, they've got an harmony with more or less all animals. It depends what food it is, really. You know,
I think it'd be more...
If it could be like grain stuff, wouldn't it? So
yeah,
I think they'll be fine with that.
Sean, evening everybody joining us, my lovelies. Leah wants a wand. Leah, get in touch with Andy. Have a look at the shop.
Etsy.
On Etsy shop, we are sharing link. John will drop link in for you now, Leah, so you can go and check it out. But yeah, I mean, I've actually seen some of the ones Andy's done. Not ones. The walking sticks, Andy. Some of them.
Oh, staffs.
They're not ones, are they?
Yeah, no, they're
it's the staff. Yeah, the staffs that he's done. I mean, carvings on them, Andy. It's like it's amazing work. You know, craftsmanship that you actually put in to what we've seen when we've been across. It's like it's just you can see your heart in your work, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I just find it's just amazing. It's amazing. Andy's work is that, and I'm going to say Becky because I know Becky will do her part, so I'm not just praising Andy. But Andy and Becky's work is absolutely spot on and amazing. I know she'll be smacking Andy in a minute, saying stop taking credit for me. But no, the work that Andy and Becky put in to everything they craft is absolutely fantastic. You could honestly, if I needed some crafting, I know where I'd be going. Andy, because
I'm quite fancying one of these bird skull ones at the minute.
Are you wanting Hoya? Andy said no.
No. Oh dear.
He will. He'll end up getting in touch with you and saying, "Send you. I'll pay you the PayPal. Send it as, and I'll not tell her it's coming till it arrives." And then I ain't got a leg to stand on once it's come.
Well,
but no, it's. Which would be your favourite elemental to encounter, or is there too many?
That is a tough one. I mean, I can't say I've got a favourite because you shouldn't really show favouritism. It's because they're so diversely different as well. I mean, you can get sort. Go on.
Which one do you encounter more?
Right, more. Yeah, that's an easier question.
Okay.
Elves. We've got a big affinity with elves.
Right.
It's been like that from day one. I've done believe it or not, I've actually been through every single spirit box that we've ever done that's been recorded. And I've actually took tally counts.
Wow.
Of everything that's ever spoken to us.
Yeah.
And the elves are the biggest ones.
Why do you think that is? Do you think...
I don't know, because they're meant to be shyest.
Then they've got to have trust in you.
Yes. And
see the goodness in you and Bex to actually start feeling comfortable around you then, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cause I want to meet a gnome. I want to know if gnomes are real. You know?
Yeah, but screenshots and pictures have been caught, though, aren't they, at gnomes?
Oh, yeah, I mean...
They've been...
Do you make boxes for tarot cards, Andy?
I can do.
You can do. We can do, Mags, yeah.
Mags will send you a message.
We do like wood burning and stuff like that, so I can like do a wood burn, you know.
Yeah.
Box
Mags, what you'll have to do is message me, and I'll send Andy what you want, and then Andy can let me how much, and then you can sort it between yourselves. Then, if you want, Mags.
But yeah, going back to gnomes. So I was sat there, I was like, yeah, elves are cool, fairies are cool. I want to meet a gnome. You know, I want to see if there's any truth to this, because garden gnome statues are one of the most common things, aren't they? You know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was, you know,
if they offend them, the statues we have.
No, they're fine.
They're like.
I mean, think about it. Think of my house.
Well, I know. Like walking into the gnome kingdom.
I didn't enter my mind that. I was just thinking, I wonder if they like sat in people's gardens thinking, we look no like that.
No, I'll actually tell you what one of them said about one in a minute. But yeah, so I'm sat there in garden. I'm reading. I've bought this book saying how to see and sense gnomes, and I'm doing all techniques, and I'm like, there's no happening. 6 or 7 months I was trying for, and I'm like, Becky, I don't think there's out to this gnome malarkey, you know. And then all of a sudden, about a year in, we sat here, we've done a little ritual, we've invoked all 4 elements, and we've got a spirit box rolling. And I've got one of my statues of my gnomes out, you know, and we're getting some like little cold sensations happening, and like flickers of stuff out at the corner of eye and that, and we're like, oh, this is cool, you know. Right early doors, we're doing all like this. And I go over to the spirit box. I go, so what nature spirits have we got with us tonight? Then it went, it's the gnomes. And I cranked my head over to the spirit box. And I goes, really? So I put some copper down right quick, because I heard that they like copper pennies, you know.
Yeah.
I said, what do you think to your gifts? What do you think to your copper I've put out for you? And it went, copper, twice.
Wow.
And then it went, take it, and then take it again. And I was like, what? And I've got that on my channel as a little short and clip, you know.
I was going to say, I know we've seen that one.
And it absolutely blew my mind. And what you entered, I've got a massive recording of all this session, but later on I goes to him, I said, so do you look out like that statue? And it's reply I got, what? This figure a bit taller.
Wow.
And I was like, really? But which way around is it? Are you a bit taller than the figure, or is the figure a bit taller than you?
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, it was really cool, really cool. And apparently that the gnomes sometimes fetch all the young ones as like a school outing.
Yeah.
So the school all the young about human behaviour. Yeah.
Wow. I'll tell you, I would love, honestly. I think Counties do more sessions on these, mate.
Well, I think what we might do one day is we might have a venture into woods and do a pre-record
and see. Because wood, I mean, it wouldn't have to necessarily be in a wood, though, would it, Andy? Because I mean, I'd take it that they can be anywhere, but a wood would probably be the better option to start.
It depends, because that's their turf. That's their turf, remember. So
right,
they can be a little bit, why are you here? What do you want from me? Whereas if you invite them into your turf, they know what they're coming for.
Yeah.
So that's
why we could actually then work in. Yeah. So if I did Semi and John set tomorrow afternoon, set everything up, did us offering in the sense, because obviously we use sage, and well, no, I think you do as well, not necessarily sage, but herbs are your eyebright and that.
Yeah.
We do that and invite them into here to communicate with us.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to come into, it sounds awful, Andy, but if we invite them in, would they stay or would they leave?
Right.
Is that difficult?
All you need to do.
Evening, everybody.
It's a really simple, all you need to do is a really simple thing. When obviously ringing that bell gets their attention.
Yeah.
So any vicinity, because it's a sound frequency that they pick up on straight away. Right.
Yeah.
So while you're rigging it and asking them, just try and picture in your mind's eye certain ones. So, like example, you know your tree fairies or your flower fairies, gnomes, elves, you know, all sort of good temperamented ones. Because I'll leave it to
everything.
You're gonna have to do that bit.
I'll leave it to chance, and if a goblin comes, a goblin comes.
You see, thing is with me is
gonna get a ruckus.
Yeah, see, that's when I'll be phoning you and saying, "Get your ass to my house."
I'm a bit like Ray out of Ghostbusters, you know, when it says "clear your mind," and then suddenly like Mr.
Marshmallow Man.
So I'll pop in there when I'm trying to think of these good ones, and I'll think Goblin, you know what I mean, or something like that.
Yeah.
But for example, we are gnome. Going back to what we talked about earlier, with it being half elemental, half nature spirit.
Yeah.
If you invoke the earth element, a gnome has to arrive. It's got to come. I'm not saying it'll speak to you.
Yeah.
It more than likely will, because gnomes are really placid. You know, they're really well-natured because they are an elemental. So they've got to abide by the rule of element, you know. I'm not saying it will speak. More than likely will.
But we might get some things. I'm going to try that tomorrow afternoon, and then I'm going to let you know how we've got on. Because I am so into... It's not... I don't want to... I do... See, I'm a mixture of both. I believe that we have got elemental spirits, but I also believe we have got energy spirits left that maybe don't want to cross. That there is, I don't know. I can't explain it, Andy, but our human energy is an energy. But did we come from elementals, in a sense? So when we cross over, does our energy because it goes back to, it's supposed to go back to Mother Earth, isn't it?
I have to tell you what I know about all that.
Yeah, please.
All right. So if you think of them as the Earth's caretakers, right, they are essentially that's what they are. So under my questioning to them, I've come to understanding that our energy that powers us can be upgraded to be one of them. Right. There's certain ones that will downgrade and come back and have a human experience for a purpose if it needs to. Yeah. Working out if you're one of them, they'll never tell you. Yeah. But there's certain things you'd have to do to upgrade to be one of them, which is what my pathway is. That's what I'm trying to carve out for myself at the minute. Yeah. Because and this is the reason why I'll always sort of shy back when anybody talks about the human spirit thing, because they tell me, and obviously this is one of the fundamental rules of working with faith. Don't go against their word. Yes. Right. And that's working from my own experience. As soon as you sort of contradict what they say, it all stops. Yeah. Right. And I know that might sound like their way or I way a little bit, but the truth givers, you know, they will riddle you, you know, they like you to work stuff out as well. Yeah. So I've got to follow their words. So, you know, like if I'm on a chat with somebody that's very ghost, spirit, human spirit orientated, I've got to pull back because there's things around me always listening, you know. And what they tell me is, and this cross references in, I heard this from their words before I learnt about this. Yeah. But the true pagan belief on death is reincarnation. That is
I believe
that is the one and only thing, because in majority of cultures there weren't a ghost culture, there weren't a human spirit culture, especially in Ireland. It were all nature spirit. So they tell me, right, so there's no human ghost spirits walking around, you know, communicating, doing whatever they do. So I've to kind
so
of.
if we look at it that.
So that again, sorry, it broke up a little bit.
Oh, sorry, Andy. So when we're out communicating, so like me and John's gone out and we're getting things coming through, like say Spirit Box or Ovulus or through any devices we use, and it's coming out with like names and it's the relevant answers to a question. I don't just mean when it's saying Andrea, Rachel, Tracy, not kind. Do you know what I mean? But when you ask a question and it gives you a relevant answer.
Yeah.
Are we communicating then with the fate because?
Are the phages trying to tell
or are the phages trying to let us know history?
Telling stories. They are the world's biggest storytellers. That's one of the things I've always come to. I mean, I've got my own theories on this, and I've also got slight backup evidence of my own personal collection that a lot of time they'll be telling us stuff, and also they've got ability to show you stuff. So you might see, you know, Colonel Sergeant John Major from Church Fenton, but is he actually his spirit?
That's what I'm saying.
That.
Yeah, is it actually spirit
or story?
Yeah,
you know?
And that's the stuff. Yeah, they're allowing us to get that piece of history because it's a relevant piece of history or because it's something we can relate to.
And then you've got this theory on top as well, the stone tape theory. Yeah. So some things are like projection memories at Earth, you know, replaying stuff. Now, if you think gnomes being an Earth elemental, then the stone tape theory essentially is coming from a gnome.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like the video player, aren't they?
Telling you a story.
So interesting. Mm-hmm. So it honestly, but you know, it's getting your mind around it all. I think you know.
It takes some time. It
does. It takes so much. It's not something you could just like switch overnight from going to. But I think incorporating for us, that incorporating it within what we're doing will then lead us down path where we're meant to be going.
We're meant to be going.
Yeah. Do you know? But I find it so fascinating. What do you think of Erwin Saunders and his videos? Is he legit? Is Erwin the one that catches?
Is he one with beard and walks around?
I like that gentleman. And I even had to say to John one night, I said to John, come and look at this because I don't know whether this is real or not. And they were chucking things to each other. And John said, he says, I can't see it being real. He says, but then again, you don't know whether he's caught something, do you know? So come on.
For me, it's just every video he catches one, and I just can't see anybody.
Right.
Every time.
So obviously I discovered his videos.
Yeah.
I am a fan.
Yeah.
My new look of my videos, I'm hoping to, because his videography is absolutely phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
It is. It's brilliant.
The way his woodlands look and the colour.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to reach for my look of my new videos.
Yeah.
So it did inspire me a little bit. So what I can tell you about the actual pixie thing, right?
Yeah.
The guy, if you watch them all, he talks about a friend of his called Tom.
He does.
That gives him the camera stuff and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right. That's the guy who does the CGI, I think. Right. Because I found his other channel.
Right.
And he's got more. He's got a few of them clips that Erwin's got in his. But he's got some like bigger trolls walking through woods and the kicking leaves and the talking to him. Yeah. Very, very good artist. Now, what I can tell you is, right, some people have done video analysis on them videos.
Yeah.
And they cannot find a single fault with them.
Wow.
Right? So they've gone like through all like shadows, light, pixelation, movement, incorporating to camera movement, you know, distance between an object, a leaf, where it casts a shadow on being, and they were like, ultimately, it looks real. This guy should be earning millions in Hollywood.
Yeah,
this is what they've said, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's cool, but I have seen this guy's work, and you know, I did discover that it is fake, but there's nothing saying that we haven't got a Cottingley Fairies situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Erwin might be having experiences with something that he feels he needs to show somehow.
Yeah.
Because he can't rely on such as what we do, e.g. with a spirit box, a remember, and people actually going, yeah, that's cool. He might feel he needs to show something that he'll never be able to capture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he's actually experiencing them.
Can you remember what that video where you showed me yesterday?
There were one, I think Steve, I'll send it you because I think Steve put it in our mod chat, and it shows you a baby on the floor, and Mom's filming the baby, and then this little, it's got a shadow under. This is what got me.
I've seen it. Is it that one that runs across floor?
Runs out
and it
to
like runs
door,
out the cabinet. What's your take on that one?
I
Again,
don't know.
that could be a bit of CGI going off there, or
it could be.
And it might be. This is what's so interesting, because but my mind is wanting, my heart's wanting to believe it, and my mind is like split.
Yeah.
But if I listen to my heart, then I believe that was something. Do you know?
The mother catches an elf on while filming her playing.
Yeah.
You see, I've only ever caught a full, I'm going to say a full dense figure that was sort of really, really tiny. I've only ever caught it once, and I'd edited my video together and didn't even see it. And what happened was somebody pointed out, they were like, did you see that gnome sat at the bottom of that base of that tree on your video? And I was like, what? So they were like, they time stamped it for me. I went back and had a look, and I was watching it. And I was like, I kind of see it. It looks like the shape of one with an hat on, and he's kind of got his feet stretched out. But I know in that area that there's like wood, piles up of wood. And we being at night, maybe, that I couldn't say one way or other. But then I left click playing by accident, because I think I was rolling a smoke and I was just watching it screen. And I was like, what's that? Right? And basically, this area that we're investigating, his old teammate, Chloe, had gone into a trance, right? And she was stood staring into these bushes. And I was saying at night, I'm like, Chloe, what's up? What's up? And she weren't answering me. And I said to the camera, I go, she's gone. You know? And, you know, like, which we know now as being glamoured. You know, the kind of shut you off a little bit. And just to side on her, and now Chloe said to me, she goes, I saw somebody. That's what she said. I remember saying that. And we were just like, oh, she thinks she's seen something, but she hasn't, you know. And what you see is a little tiny figure, and it looks bald-headed. And it's, I mean, and this, it was like, we're in March, and it was quite cold. Right? And it runs in, right, in background, and it's like kind of crouched down, and it does this right weird little movement, like it's looking at us all, and then it jumps up into the tree and dissipates away.
Wow. John was laughing at bald-headed creature, by the way. John was smirking then at the bald-headed creature.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Not this.
But it looked like it had got a black vest on, you know. And bare arms and bold, but tiny. I mean, in comparison to where Chloe was, it had literally been about a foot tall.
See, this is it. They are fast, and they don't like to be caught, and they don't like to be seen.
Yeah.
But to actually catch it and see it, that's just got to be. I'd be sitting and playing that back every day, Andy.
Well, I did for a while.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my God.
You see that video of that, but it's on private at the minute because I've made a load of videos private at one point, you know, because I was unsure what I was doing with channel. But I'll open it back up so you can have a watch on it. But yeah, it's really cool.
That'd be amazing. But no, that'd be good.
So have you got any plans to go anywhere?
Loads.
Weather again, it's shitty, isn't it? I know we've got a couple of places we want to go here, especially that woodland one, you know, that we were telling you about, Andy. If we're going back, I wouldn't mind going there. And now, because it's light, you can get there for like 7.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you're like there while it's like when it's going dusk.
Like 8.
Thing.
Like 8.
You know, so you've got your light going into your dark, then, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's so I can't wait to meet up in that, and I'm just going to question everything. I've got to learn my trees though. I don't know my bloody trees.
No, I'm not. I know a few, but I'm not.
I can remember us having this conversation up way to Fergalon Tunnel.
Yeah, I don't know my trees at all.
Few, but I'm not.
We have found a good place though, haven't we?
I don't know, have we?
We went other week just to check it out. You went through. I had to go back to the car because I couldn't walk to where you were walking to. Don't look. We took dog last Sunday.
Oh yeah. I remember now,
yeah. That's a place I think Andy and Becky'd enjoy.
Yeah,
that one because that's. I know where it is. I just can't say it on live. But what? It's not far from Andy's.
No, it's not that far from yours.
No, it's not far. But we'll get in touch with you for that one, Andy, because if weather's nice, that's a good one to actually go to. Very interesting place. That in fact, actually, send you some photos.
You know, over there, I dropped onto your live when you were down at Furnace.
Oh yeah.
And I go to Becky. I goes, I would have a drive down now with some black cloaks on.
Yeah.
And just get it bushes and go.
I would.
Proper tempted.
I would have launched my torch at you, my sticks and what. But do you know, even on that one though, Andy, when we did that, we actually caught a whistle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we can't explain where that was. And I know it was weird. They saw some lights behind us.
Me and hold on, Lindsay, what you doing?
I haven't done anything. It was on pause. I'm watching originals and it's just popped up on telly.
All right.
I'm just going to put
4 of us there. One of the lads always had seen a light. So me and Carl had walked off to go and see what this light was. Neither of us whistled. That left you and Lewis.
Me and Lewis.
Lewis at the furnace.
Lewis was stood at back at furnace and I went front.
At front. Lewis heard the whistle, not Lindsay.
I didn't hear anything. And people in chat, Lewis heard the whistle and Lewis come back round to me because he thought it were me whistling for him to come back. But everybody heard it in chat bar me. But when you listen back to it, it is so clear, this whistle. And it's like a 2-tone whistle.
Right.
If that makes sense. And that were one of main things I think we caught.
Do any at Faye whistle? Do they communicate by whistling?
Yeah. Or? Would they get So it could have been Steve. But Lindsay and John, do you think that maybe the Kaylee voice at the old mill might have been elemental energy rather than human spirit? Well, Andy would say yes. And that's what I'm going to ask him now. We were at an old mill, not far from where we live. And
I was there on my own.
John were there on his own. And next minute,
I was just showing him round and I would set him one of the apps upon the phone. I've not actually got it going. And I said something.
And Kaylee gets said behind. And it's like,
that's that one that you played me when.
Yeah.
It might have been.
Yeah.
So if you'd have had that experience, Andy, if you'd have been there and that had have happened, you didn't hear it in real, like John didn't hear it. And then when you got back and heard that, how would you have looked at that?
Two, they heard it in chat, didn't they?
Couple heard it in chat, yeah. Claire and Scotty heard it in chat, and Steve, I think. Not many heard it in chat. That's why I had to look back on it. But if you would have caught some evidence like that, how would you, especially with being a name, how would you have looked at that evidence there or what you'd caught?
I think personally for me, because obviously I approach stuff a little bit different to you guys.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so how would you?
But I mean, in like
approach that.
Sort of like,
Thanks,
were you guys like doing a lot of live stuff? We pre-record a lot, don't we? So like, my way of doing stuff were always like this. Well, it were a natural formation for us. It were always like a story had form through as activity, you know.
Right.
So obviously, just getting a name, there's no context to it. So you know, we can't say for definite if it was a person saying their name, if it was something saying a person's name. You know, there's absolutely, it's just a
so you'd
name.
be like us,
So
you'd just be like us. We were like,
I'd have been like, it is what it is. It's cool that a noise has come from nothing, you know.
Yeah.
But
there's no explanation.
More, without any more to build on. Because like later on, if someone had come up, you know, with that name again through a box,
or that name were related to it or whatever,
you know, you've got to try and form the context, and
do you know how we call gnomes? Like we'll say that we're talking to gnomes.
Yeah.
Is it possible that a gnome has a name?
Of course, they've all got names.
But would the names be like our name, or would they be like totally different?
They're a mixture. You see, I've had a fairy come here that told me she were out hunting barley.
Yeah.
Right, and she heard me bell and come for a nosy, and her name was Kira, which is a very normal.
Yeah.
But then I get, you know, I've talked to a pixie that's called Tingleberry.
Yes.
Which is very like cliche fairy style name.
Only reason I ask that is because when we are out, we do get quite a lot of names come through. Now, some of the names that come through may be relevant to the area that we are going to investigate.
But for me, I would.
But
I don't. Andy might think it's different. But for a fae, I don't know what significant the name is to them. But I wouldn't have thought a fae to give you the name unless they trusted you. Or wouldn't it really make any difference?
Or wouldn't it matter, Andy? But they trust you anyway, wouldn't they, for you to hear them?
A little bit. I mean, I think it's like I just because like they like playing little games between them as well.
Yeah.
You know, you see, I've got a theory that I don't think anything we hear over a spirit box is actually their voice. I think it is all radio. Yeah. But manipulated radio.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
I've always been on, you know, and I'm working with answers about this at minute. It's been a long-going thing for me, but I believe there's an elemental that's been forgotten about or really don't get acknowledged.
Yeah.
And that's an electricity elemental.
Yeah.
And I think the beings that we speak to go through a third-party elemental to manipulate waves in the electricity and send back. This is why sometimes we can get an answer, but it'll be an odd or strange answer, or it might be a bit incoherent.
Yeah. It's very true, because some answers you do get back, they are quite...
they'll be on point, but not at the same time. Yeah, and I genuinely believe that anything that's out there in the waves, e.g. electricity is energy, like we've talked about, it's still out there. You know, anything that gets put out there is still out there. And they can sort of grasp it and throw it through. I think that's kind of how they're working. So names might be somewhat similar. You know, if they're chattering amongst themselves, this elemental of electricity might just grab it and go, that's who's talking to you. You know, we don't know. There's a lot of theories behind it all.
Yeah. Question. In a field I go, there's a daisy path. Even when grass is cut, the daisy footpath remains. Is there any significance to that? Could there be a significance, Andy?
There could be. I can't say for sure.
We actually, yeah.
You know, it's like the old sort of. I've heard people's experiences with circular patches of grass. You know, even when cut, they sort of grow back really quick compared to other grasses, and it's like in a you know, like the old fairy ring style stuff. You know, I don't know for sure. There could be.
Yeah. Marvelous. One last question for me. Everybody else keep putting it in, we will answer it. My last one then is, you know, so like I want to do a spirit box and I want to send my dad's crossed over.
Yeah.
And I wanted to communicate with him. Do you think that's possible for me to communicate? Or is it the faith allowing that communication? Because if we've been reincarnated, his old energy would his old energy still linger? And obviously new, or would he's like, you know, like you said, a memory path, there's a memory there or whatever.
I think my answer
do you get what I mean, Andy?
I get what you mean. My answer to that would be, depending on who's right, because there will be a right and a wrong. I'm not saying I'm right, you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right.
Everybody like to say.
There is something that happens. Obviously, one day we might find out, we might not. Right? But what my belief system is that you wouldn't be able to speak to him now unless he has upgraded to something else, e.g. a fae, a nature spirit. Might not be of the same thought process as he was here, so he might not really know, right?
Yes.
But if he hasn't, then if the reincarnation was to happen, then he would be back here reliving in another life form. So the life form may remember, you know, because they do remember past lives. But I was actually watching, right? I don't know what you guys think of David Icke, the conspiracy man. You know?
I've not watched it. To be honest, Andy, it's not one that I've watched. So I've got to be honest.
Well, back in, I think it was early 90s, he come out as this, because he was a football presenter, you know,
right,
sports presenter, and he come out with all these mad theories. He'd gone on this experience, and he come back saying that he was Jesus, right? And he went on Terry Wogan, and everybody ridiculed him. I mean, now he's got a massive following. Anyway, I watched this first interview, and he's speaking, and he's doing it in a way where certain people understand what he's saying, but normal run-of-the-mill brains wouldn't. And he actually said, reincarnation, yes, I am Jesus, because a portion of his energy is in me now. Not that he's the full Jesus come back.
Yeah.
But his theory back then correlates to what I'm saying now and what I've learned.
Yeah.
That souls, apparently, and obviously this is word from fae, mint together in death and spit back into another life form. So the bit that remembers a past life is only a small portion.
Yeah.
So like a soul's like a jigsaw, then made up of many different pieces.
Yes. So once we release, it can mix. Like say if all us died in a car accident right now.
Yeah.
A bit of my portion and a bit of your portion can mingle together and go into one more life form.
Yeah.
Yeah. So only a bit might remember, oh, there were a car accident. But then there might be a memory from it of like you being a little girl, so Lindsay.
Yeah, get you.
You know what I mean? Only fragmented little, and it's a really good defense mechanism because if you could remember, like the Dalai Lama says he can, then apparently his full portion's travelling again and again and again.
Yeah.
You know, but for general folk, that'd be a good defence mechanism.
Yeah.
And in essence, it is an afterlife, because life means living, means physical.
Yeah.
So we all do get an afterlife, just not what we're thinking it's going to be.
Yes.
Unless we upgrade the soul, because it's the soul that evolves, not the physical. The physical has to die.
The physical has to die, doesn't it? Yeah. And it's like, your soul. Wow.
So finding a calling can upgrade your soul, e.g. these people that have enlightenments that go and become Buddhist monks and find true spirituality, that leave everything behind, are working towards soul evolution.
Yeah.
Ah, now I understand. Now that makes more sense to me that way.
Yeah. They are wanting to transform themselves into light beings, they say.
Yeah.
You know, they're called rainbow bodies, where if you take a photo at monk that's in a state of death, it will look like a rainbow's around it.
Yeah.
And rainbows, weirdly enough, are connected to nature spirit realm.
Wow.
You know? So it's a light being, a faster vibrational light being, so it's an upgrade.
Wow.
That's
just way... It's right in depth, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it really is. It's there's a lot of elements to it.
I mean, Joe's put, you can dream about past lives, but you would be able to, but you might not necessarily be dreaming. You could also be dreaming as somebody else's as well, couldn't you? Could you?
I mean, my mum, weirdly enough, because time is a human concept as well.
Yeah.
My mum actually remembers a future life.
Wow.
She remembers a past one where she was watching an eclipse in old-fashioned dress. With can you remember them little Bo Peep style staffs that they had? She got one of them, looking up, watching with a bonnet on, watching this eclipse, and then she's got a future remembrance of going up in this shuttle into space, and everything being right future.
Wow.
So were you saying, Lindsay, it'd be somebody else's? Go on, Andy. Yeah, carry on. Sorry, I thought you finished, mate. Go on.
No. So maybe time's not linear, and you can be born forward, backward, alternate. We don't know.
That's amazing thought.
What I want to say to you is, you're on about somebody else's past life. It will be part of your past life, because part of that soul
is in me, so it would be part of mine. Yeah, that's life. What I mean.
Yeah. It wouldn't be somebody else totally, but it will be part of yours. Yeah.
That's just, that last bit, Andy, just blew my mind.
Yeah. And I ain't heard that before. You know, it's all the time I've ever heard it.
Yeah. Wow. Do you think we keep coming back to experience things until we conquer them things, like you say with Mantra and what she remembers?
I definitely think there's an element to that involved in it.
Yeah. And
maybe we keep coming back until we can take that step.
Until you take that step,
and go to the next level.
Yeah. Jane says she believes her daughter is reincarnated. But it's funny, Jane, because the amount of people, when you speak to them, especially when they've got little ones, and they'll say, God, it reminds me of such and such, or he's been on this planet, they've been on this earth before,
when
you know?
An old soul in
a young body, So that Steve's put, so that part soul merge could be responsible for a deja vu. Maybe
so. Because I get a lot of that. I get a hell of a lot.
Yeah, deja vu. I do with deja vu moments. And then I think I've said it and I haven't said it. I'm like living in my own bubble again. Bewitched says she's frightened of reincarnation. Do you know, I think a lot of people have fears. Do
you know, my biggest fear used to be that once you passed, that were it. There were nothing.
And now,
nothing. Yeah. Because for eternity, nothing is a long. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like.
And now,
we can't comprehend being nothing, can we? I think that's what it is.
No.
But essentially, I've come to the realization that maybe reincarnation is going to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I'm on a mad, you know, sort of.
Well, you're going to have to come back on and keep us updated because everybody's enjoying and everybody's putting in chat that they've enjoyed it and everything else, Andy. So, yeah, but again, it's one of these, I think this is one of these topics and subjects and interests that you can talk about. And it does, because it opens your mind to it broadens your mind and how you think. Do you know? So you'll like it's not like you're questioning yourself, but you're allowing that belief of something else. Do you know? You're not being, your mind's not that big. It's like gone to that big now. But now I've got more questions.
You always do.
Than answers.
You always
Do you know? I don't think we'd never see our loved ones again. See, I personally believe we sort of like, again, it might be a daft belief, but my belief is that somehow the family I've got is the family I'm going to always be connected to. So when
in some way,
I'm always going to be linked. Now, whether Jordan Ashley come out as boys, girls, whatever, I still believe, like, and again, whether it's that jigsaw puzzle that Andy's talking about and you're talking about, it's like you'll always, if you meet up with them or you know that it's like, I think when you meet people and you think, I've known you before. If everybody's soul
goes back to the earth and mingles into one, all your loved ones or part of their souls will be there anyway. So you would.
You're always partly together.
Yeah. But isn't it strange how sometimes you can meet somebody and from that minute you
then again, everybody you didn't like will be in there and all.
Well, I know. I'll kick their asses. I'll kick their asses. I'll be fit and healthy. But I think it's, I forgot what I'm going to say now. I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. Hence why we have soulmates and twin flames. Oh, that's what I was going to say. That's why I think, when we meet somebody, it's not that our energy recognizes them. And I think it's our energies that connect. And somewhere along the lines, in whether it's previous lives or whatever, that energy, because it remembers.
Mental institute was you at one point.
It remembers. It might what?
Maybe I would say mental institution is you at one point.
You could have been, love. You could have been. But it is, though, isn't it? Because it's strange when you meet somebody and you think straight away, I must have known loads of people, me. Everybody I meet, I throw my arms around and think I've met them before. But it is, I think your energies answer to a lot of things. Energy from within anyway. So, right, my lovelies, we've been on 2 hours. And it has been how fast has 2 hours gone?
It's gone right quick.
It's gone absolutely so fast. Andy, will you come on again and talk? Because it's been.
Well, he's going to say that because we're on live.
Well, he's got to answer. That's why if I get him now, he can't back out in it. Because we've got people watching.
Andy can always back out.
You'll send me a message saying I'm never coming on again. No. Not yet. But yes, thank you to everybody for joining us. Please share, and if you've missed it and fell asleep, bless her, Deborah, please watch back because it has been such an interesting topic. Definitely go across to Elemental Encounters because I'll tell you something.
Some of their
videos, their content
and journey
is just. It is. It's a straight, but you're part of that journey as well. Yeah. You're a part of Andy's journey and Becky's journey, and it's such an interesting journey to be a part.
That's it. If you want to see a hippie Jack Sparrow talking to fairies, come across. You're welcome.
I lost you then, Andy.
I lost you as well.
I got your saying, if you want to see.
I said a hippie Jack Sparrow talking to fairies, then come across. You're quite welcome.
A hippie. Yeah, and you'll love Andy and you'll love Becky. And yes, but thank you so much for joining. Thanks to all moderators for helping moderate. Thanks for keeping the chat continuously perfectly good. And we shall see you all later on. So, Andy, do you want to give yourself one last plug on where they can all find you?
Yeah, Elemental Encounters on YouTube, Facebook, and Etsy. Cheers, guys. Thanks for listening. Muchly appreciated.
There you go. Not ecstasy. All right, Andy, stay on a minute.
Yeah,
right, we'll see you guys later.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night. God bless.
Right, it's ending it. It's this ending bit. You ain't broadcast, and it still goes, and we're still on. This John's messing about.
It won't let me end it. Our computer's
Do you know?
going right slow. I don't know. No, you have to wait.
Yeah, you ended it, didn't you?
Yeah, but our computers. I'm timing people.